Hey everyone, welcome to Dear Dad with Ivan and Brad. This is episode 6, and we are two dads who want to give you our viewpoint from a male and a father's point of view on everything marriage, divorce, remarriage, parenting, and co-parenting. Thanks for joining us today. Here we go.
So, I want to start with a story.
Okay.
Something that happened to me this weekend.
Oh.
It'll bleed us right into our topic today.
Okay.
I almost died.
What?
So, I will never understand how there's people out there that are willing to fight and kill and just do crazy, stupid stuff for a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
For me, if I ever feel like I need to fight for a woman, I'm out. Why am I here? Why are you putting me in that situation?
What about defending her?
That's different.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, so go on.
So you want to be Will Smith on the regular, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not just sometimes.
Right.
Also, though, why are you in that situation all the time? Still not good.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what happened.
Okay.
I met this girl. We went out once.
Okay.
Everything was cool. We went out the second time. The second time was even more random. It was like a 30-minute thing. Like within 30 minutes, it was gonna happen. It wasn't planned at all.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So we met up at this place. We get out of the car
Mm-hmm.
and we start. We're gonna go watch a movie. We get out of the car and we start walking towards the theater.
Okay.
Next thing I know, there's a car just flying towards us.
Oh no.
If we didn't move out of the way,
Right.
we get hit. This guy stopped like right in front of a car because we were in front of a car at the moment. So if we didn't move, it was going to hit us. Since we moved, he would have hit the car. So that's why he stopped. So I'm like, she's like, oh shit. I'm like, what happened? She's like, you got to go. I'm like, why? Who is that? She's like, that's my ex.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, what? So the guy gets out of the car and then he starts chasing me down. And he's holding his hand behind his back to indicate he has a weapon.
Uh-huh.
Did he have a weapon or not? I don't know. Was I going to find out? No. Okay.
So you're full out like 100 miles an hour right now, hitting it.
What do you mean?
Were you running? Like were you like?
Oh, I wasn't running, but I was backpedaling
Okay.
because I was like, yo, what's going on? Like, she's like, he was like, I'm her fiance. I'm like, what? I didn't know.
Right.
I just met this girl maybe 2 weeks ago. I didn't know she was engaged. According to her, you're still her ex, though. You are her ex now. He was like, no, I'm her fiance. I was like, bro, I didn't know, dog, and I have 2 kids. I don't want to deal with none of this. I'm just gonna bounce. This whole time, I'm walking backwards, keeping my eyes on him.
Right.
I have to get to my car.
Yeah.
We're a little away from my car. But he's still, like, walking me down, always with his hand behind his back, indicating he had a weapon. Right? And at this point, I just, like, I'm pretty close to my car. I just turn around and run into my car, and I leave. And then I'm pissed. I'm still scared. I'm, like, checking my mirrors, making sure he's not following me or something, And she calls me a few minutes later. She's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that he was going to show up. I don't know why he's here. He is my ex. He's just crazy. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't
Stalking her.
Yes.
Dang.
I was like, well, listen, he knows where you are some way, somehow. You need to figure that out.
Yeah.
Either somebody told him where you are,
Right.
or he has a way of tracking you. Either way, figure it out for your safety, for other people's safety. Not my safety, because you're never seeing me again.
Right.
But for other people's safety, right? And so, are they engaged? I don't know.
And you don't care.
And I don't care.
Right.
I'm out.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because I make it home like 30 minutes, 20 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
And then she texts me a little later, maybe an hour later. She's like, are you still mad? Like, what?
Am I still mad? Yeah, let me think about that one for a second.
Yeah, I almost got ran over, and I thought I was about to get shot. I told her, like, I try my hardest not to put myself into any situation like this,
Right.
where I can be caused any harm. That's why I don't go clubbing. I don't go to bars. I don't hang out with crazy people. Like, I have friends that are crazy. You're not going to see me out with them, though.
All right.
You know what I mean? So, no, I don't want to be around you.
Yeah.
Because this is not the end of it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he didn't have a gun, but maybe next time he will. Or maybe next time he will hit us with his car. You know? And I'm not trying to find out.
No.
Right? So, today we're going to talk about relationships, marriages.
Yeah.
Right? Have you ever gotten that mad where you had to like track somebody down?
Man, I've never been in a situation on either end. I've never been tracked down, and I've never had to track anybody down. And
surprisingly, neither have I.
Yeah,
which
felt like
I'm
I've
surprised
had to.
by.
Yeah,
But it's never happened until this weekend, and I was scared for my life.
yeah.
Yeah.
You should have asked me, dude, does your lower back hurt or something? Like, why are you holding it like that?
Yeah, man. I was frightened. This is in the Kent Station. Do you know where that is?
I don't.
It's a little mall.
Okay.
Kent Station. So we're in the parking lot of the mall, and this guy just...
Is that had the Commons Theater in it?
That's Federal Way.
Oh, it's Federal Way. Okay.
Yeah, that's the Commons Mall.
Okay.
Kent Station is like Kent Mall.
Gotcha.
It's not even, I don't know if it's a mall. They just have a bunch of little shops. And
Right.
restaurants and
Man.
stuff.
Yeah, that'd be freaky. Okay. Wow. Man.
Yeah, I was so scared, man. I've never been like in the situation like that, and that's why when I meet new women, I tell them I have no baby mama drama.
Right.
You don't have to worry about anything like that happening or anything along those lines. That's pretty extreme.
Oh yeah.
You don't even have to worry about anything under or below that with me. So I expect the same in return. If I meet a new woman, and if they have children, or even just an ex in general, like, do you have any drama, any past drama? Because I don't want to deal with that. You know?
Yeah. And you know what's crazy is I think it's never easy to find a good person right off the bat. And there's no way for you to know like if she has problems or not. Like this is like your first or second time going out with her.
Yeah.
And same holds true for anyone. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. When you're going out with somebody, you're just hoping they're telling you the truth. And especially in today's society, because, I mean, there's so many people catfishing out there.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you have no idea.
I'm surprised you know that term.
I know, me too. But I can tell you this. I've had friends who have said they've actually shown up to places. They've asked the girl to wear something, like a certain kind of hat. Hey, put a red hat on or a red
so they
scarf.
can see him from afar.
So they know what they look like. And if that person looks like nothing like their picture at all, they're like, yeah, I bounce. And I was like, wow, yeah.
I'm too nice to do that. Like I've met up with people that might not look as good.
Right.
I've never had like completely different people,
Okay.
but maybe they look a little different than what I thought they would.
Right.
But I've never been the one to just leave. I always just stick it through because one, I'm already here. Two, it's kind of mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What if you put like your worst picture up, like, or one of your worst pictures, like all of a sudden like your neck is all contorted, looks like you have like 10 chins and all this stuff, and this girl's talking to you, and all of a sudden she's like into you and she likes you, and then you show up and she's like, oh my gosh, you look amazing. I mean, that'd be kind of a nice surprise.
Yeah. I don't know what journey you just took me on there, but we made it.
Yeah, we did. Oh man.
So I want to talk about, should we keep it at relationships in general, or do you want to go to marriage? Because they are two different things.
Yeah, no, I think we can probably touch on both. My thing is, like, what I would want to say, no matter if you're going to be in a marriage or if you're just looking for someone to hang out with on a regular basis, and I was kind of thinking about this today because I knew what the topic was about, but I was like, I'm in sales. And so I'm not going to go out and try to sell $1 million yacht if I've never even sold, like, let's just say, like a cell phone package or some pencils or pens or whatever, multivitamins or whatever it might be. Like, you shouldn't expect yourself to have the best or be able to do the best. Like running a marathon, for instance. My brother Brian just ran a marathon this past weekend and qualified for the Boston. Good job, B. And so he couldn't have run that marathon if he wouldn't have trained for possibly a half marathon or some of the 5 or 10Ks and stuff like that. And so for me, I'm thinking as a male, I can't expect myself to go out and find a 10 in a woman, which if they even exist, there's probably some kind of split personality there or something. But
I mean, when it comes to looks, they definitely do exist.
Oh yeah. But you can't expect yourself to find a 10 if you are not a 10. And so that's what I kind of mean by like sales. When I brought the sales part of it into it, it's like, don't expect yourself to go out and sell a yacht if you've never sold anything at all.
I think you can. I disagree. I think you can land a 10 if you're an 8 or a 7.
Oh, well, yeah.
6.
Because the 10 might be into 6s, 7s, or 8s.
Right.
Yeah.
You might have that one thing.
Right.
That even though to her you're a 7, to this one you might be a 10 just because you make her laugh.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
or because you got some money or whatever the case may be, right?
Right. Yeah. I would say there's tons of ugly guys out there who have some beautiful
hotties.
Women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think it's just important though to make sure that you are good on the inside. Like if you're all over the place and like you're crazy and you're crazy, maybe it's not a good time to go out and look for a guy or look for a girl because, hey, maybe they're looking for someone who's sane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
And the shitty part is that it's hard for some people to recognize that about themselves. Mm-hmm. So then they go and put that baggage on the new person.
Right. That's true.
And then that messes that person up as well.
Right.
Now you have 2 instead of 1.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're going to go and put it on somebody else.
Right.
Because this relationship isn't going to last.
Right.
Right. Because it's not going to.
Right.
Unless you can find somebody that can help you change, help you fix those things. In this building. It's scary.
Yeah,
man.
it is. A little stormy out here tonight.
Yeah, it's
so
nasty today. Windy, rainy, cold, hot, sunny.
Yep.
Seattle, man. So, do you believe you found the recipe to being a great husband?
I don't know.
At least for what it takes for your wife to be happy, your personal wife.
Yeah, I would say in that case, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like based on how old I am now, the experiences that I've had in my past, I feel like I've taken the time to learn from them to make me better. I know what I've done wrong in past relationships. I've known what I've done wrong just as being a human being in general, being a man, the way I think, the way I act. And so some things, as I've heard before, in your 20s, you're trying to make yourself look the best you possibly can. And then in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, you slowly kind of like start changing, like, hey, do I really care about this more than that? And by the time you hit your 50s and 60s, you're like, you know what? This is who I am and stuff like that. Now, is everybody like that? No. But as a general rule, I think people start realizing, like, there's certain things that aren't as important, like being superficial. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I did learn a lot. And I think the one thing I take away from being a husband now is being someone who can make her laugh and joke around with her. And she loves joking around with me. And so that really helps us a lot. We love to play around and joke and stuff. And then we both have taken a role of being there for one another. And so, they always say marriage is 50-50, but I've also heard it's 100-100. So some people, they treat marriage like it's a union. Like you're a union rep or something like that, working for the union, and someone says, hey, you do that, and you're like, no, that's not my job. And so for me, I'm thinking like, it is my job. So if I want my marriage or my relationship to work out, then, hey, if I'm passing by some dirty clothes in the hallway, pick them up. If I see some dirty dishes in the sink, go ahead and clean them. Someone's got to do it. And if she's working and I'm working, then to me, I feel like, hey, let's help each other out, because right now my wife does so much for me that I could try all day to outdo her, and I just wouldn't be able to. So,
I've mentioned it to you. I don't know if I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but I really appreciate her for how supportive she is of you
Mm-hmm.
and us and the podcast. You know, she's
Right.
just from me seeing that,
Mm-hmm.
I can tell she's a great wife to you in all the other different aspects of the relationship. Because I don't know, that it's just a little thing, but it means so much. The fact that she's so supportive, because I've heard you talking on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
She's bought us sandwiches, and thank you, Tanya, for that. You know, she's looked up videos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's awesome because
Yeah.
she's not benefiting from this at all.
Right.
But she wants you to be successful. She wants
Mhm.
us to be successful. She sees that you're trying something new. She wants you to keep going. She's pushing you, and I see that, and I really respect her for that. I didn't have a good example of a healthy marriage growing up,
Mm-hmm.
but I won't blame that on why I was a bad husband or why I had a bad marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I had a bad marriage because I was young, dumb, and you know the other part in
Mm-hmm.
that saying. And I can't even put I can't even put most of the blame on her. Most of the blame is on me,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the little blame that I will put on both of us is the fact that we were both a little too young. We were both a little irresponsible, and I'm speaking like financially, stuff
Mhm.
like that. And I don't think we had an idea of what we wanted our lives to be together, right? And these past few years, I've done a lot of self-analyzing and studying about what I need to do to become a better partner for
Mhm.
whoever is next. I
Right.
don't know. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And you know what the best types of husbands are to me, in my opinion?
What's that?
The ones you see like on sitcoms.
Mm-hmm. Like the comedy ones?
Yeah,
or,
the comedy, or even like
drama.
drama, like Roseanne. I mean, I
Mhm.
guess that's kind of comedy, right? But like Roseanne,
Yeah.
or I don't know, any sitcom.
Yeah.
The dad's always a certain way where the dad is always submissive to the wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that in the sense of creating the home.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an example that my dad didn't give me because he didn't understand that. Part of that is because he grew up without a mother because his mother died very young.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's also why he's had a lot of issues growing up.
Mhm.
And I understand that, right? So my dad's never understood that, hey, what the woman says goes in the house, you know, but my dad also doesn't like rules or anything like that, you know, and he kind of wants to do his own thing.
Right.
And that's where he's struggled, because if he was always able to say, okay, Marla, you got it, then I think their marriage would have been very different.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I've seen that, and I know that that's what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I have a home with a woman, I know that a woman is going to want to decorate the home however she wants.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty universal, I think, right?
I think so. I would say 95% or more.
More, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's the rules of the house are going to be made by the woman. The way it looks is going to be made by the woman. And I'm talking about rules as in like just the little crap, like put the towel here, fold this like
Yeah.
this.
Where pictures go and things
Exactly.
like that. Yeah.
Right. And as men, when they say happy wife, happy life, that's it's so true.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, and I've talked to my mom about this, where I've told her, like, I've realized that that's what it takes to have a healthy, happy marriage
Mm-hmm.
or a relationship in general. Do whatever your wife says,
Yeah.
you know. And those are not things that I would do with my ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
But because I didn't know, I hadn't realized that yet.
Right.
And
Well, I think sometimes men, from a masculine point of view, feel like we are always trying to establish our territory,
Dominance.
establish our dominance.
Mm-hmm.
And so we take that into the home, and we don't realize that we don't necessarily have to establish our dominance in the home. Like, if our wife married us, then obviously she sees us as the man.
Mm-hmm.
She respects us enough, loves us enough to give us that role next to her, and we did the same for her.
Mm-hmm.
So if the two of you got married, obviously you see something in each other that you think is relevant and can help you. And then for whatever reason, as you go throughout this journey of marriage, you start doing things a little bit differently. You get tired of being told, like, hang this up or hang that up or put this here, whatever it might be. And you start thinking, you know what, I don't want to do it that way anymore. And you start pushing back a little bit. And I just know, like in my first marriage, there were things that we disagreed on. And, she wanted it done one way. I wanted it done another. Looking back at it, was one of us more right than the other? Probably not, to a point. But, I just wasn't prepared to continue on that way for the rest of my life. And
that's the same thing with me. I wasn't ready to continue living the life we were living.
Right. And I think, too, like when I was talking about at the very beginning, I said you have to find someone who you have similarities with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she might not like football, and you do.
But she's got to be able to understand that I want to watch footballs all Sunday.
Right. And maybe she loves her love stories and her TV shows,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that, and you don't like those. And that's okay. But you have to have some type of commonality between the two of you.
Or at least a compromise, right?
Yeah. And I think it's good. Like, so for me and my wife, we enjoy sitting in front of the TV and just relaxing together, just being there. And so it's important for us to also make sure that if we're going to, like, and this is just in our house, but if we're going to be on opposite sides of the couch, then usually her feet are pointed towards me because I'm massaging her feet while we're watching the show.
Yeah.
If it's the other way where she's just leaning up against me, then I'm just kind of holding her and we're snuggling while we're watching a movie or watching a show and things like that. But that's something we enjoy doing together.
You know what it sounds like, Brad?
What's that?
So we've both had a failed marriage already.
Right.
And a marriage where we've had a lot of issues in that marriage, which is why it's a failed marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You're at the point now with this second marriage to where I want to get with my second marriage as well. Or even if I don't get married, because I don't really, that's not a thing for me anymore. I don't really care if I do or not.
Right.
But I just want something simple.
Mm-hmm.
Something relaxed, fun. Like, why do there's no need for the fighting, for the arguments. I hate arguing. I hate fighting. I hate it. I hate confrontation. And not because I'll go crazy if it happens, because I won't. But just because, why? Like, I already have so much going on in my life with my kids and their mom and this and that and work and financial stability and everything, right?
Right.
So why do I need you, my woman, to come in and add to that? Let's help each other. Just be happy.
Yeah.
And you and Tanya, you both work, and then you come home and you hang out and you laugh. Sure, you might have arguments here and there, but I'm sure you'll say that usually they're arguments that don't even need to happen. Right?
Yeah, I'd say 90% of them.
Yeah, it's probably just to spice things up a little bit at the end of the day, But this relationship is very different from your last, right? This relationship seems like you guys just went on a vacation. It seems like it's a lot happier,
right?
Simpler. You guys aren't fighting about every little thing, every single day, right? And I think a lot of that is just so beautiful. I don't know. That's what I want, man. That's why I tell women, like, hey, what my thing is, what I've learned that I need to do is to do anything possible to make sure that you feel safe in our relationship,
Mm-hmm.
secure in our relationship, and that you have no worries, right?
Right.
You need my phone? There it is. Go ahead and take my phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want me to be home all day? I'll be home all day. I'm already home all day. I have no
Yeah.
problem with that. You know, I don't go
Yeah.
out. I just stay home. I work and I go home.
Yeah.
And when I have my kids, I have my kids.
Right.
You know, but that's my thing. I just want peace.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do we not want to live together for a few years? That's fine. We can still see each other almost every day, but we don't have to live together. That's fine. You know, obviously when it's very serious, you know, we'll live together. But at first, there's no need to rush.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you're lucky. You're lucky you've found that second, or not second, but that new level,
Mm-hmm.
right, where you're just happy.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Right. And it doesn't mean I'll have my off days or she has her off days, but I think the important thing is that I feel comfortable having an off day with her. As in, like, if I'm not feeling my best, there's just times where I'll just text her and I'm just like, I just feel off today, and I'm sorry if I was weird this morning when I was leaving. And she'll be like, oh, that's okay, babe. I'm here for you. You know, and she'll do the same thing to me. But you have to have some type of vulnerability and feel like you can relinquish the wall that a lot of times men put up. Men are really good at hiding their emotions, and I think that for majority of, you know, this world that we've lived in, men have always been thought of as simple human beings who just have a one-track mind. And I think the thing that would surprise a lot of women is if you could look inside of a man's mind, you wouldn't have a clue really of how much they hold back, how much of a wall we put up to try to protect ourselves and to be the man that society expects us to be. We're trying to be there for our kids as a dad, and we're trying to be there for our wife as a husband. We're trying to be there, you know, at our work as either a coworker or the boss or whatever our role is. Like, we're trying to fulfill those things. Then we have hobbies and we have friends that we go out with, and we're trying to be all these things to all these people. And when we have things that come at us, a lot of times we hide them, and then it can eat at us. And I think sometimes then it comes out in the marriage. It comes out in our relationship with the woman that we love, and we don't know how to, you know, say it. So a lot of times we use these actions, and it backfires because we don't know how to really open up. And so, and I can't say I'm perfect at it. I just know that I've gotten better with Tanya at doing that and letting her see the side of me that is the weaker side, but at the same time being there, you know, to love her and to accept her love as well.
that was beautiful.
I know, man. I almost cried.
That was beautiful, man. That was good. That's really good. Do you think that your kids see everything you're doing?
I know they do. They've told me. I mean, they're just like, wow, Dad, when we see you with Tanya, we just see a whole different side of you. You know, and my boys were, you know, they're definitely old enough, almost 18 and 14. They saw my last relationship with their mom and how that was, and it wasn't a good, healthy relationship. It wasn't a good example for them. They now see their dad with his wife, and they see the way we act together, the way we joke around. They love joking around with her. They love just telling her stuff and being open with her. And that makes me feel good inside that I married a woman who my boys feel like they can open up to and talk to her about certain things. And, you know, it's just cool. It's neat to be in a different room and all of a sudden they can listen in on the conversation they're having with her just about something. I'm like, inside it just makes me feel good. Like, wow, that's cool that they can talk
That
to her.
you know you picked the right person, right?
Right.
At the end, I don't want to say the most important because it's really not. The most important is that you and her are a good partnership.
Right.
Second most important, but very close, is that she is able to have a good relationship with them as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I've I want to speak about the home thing again. Do you feel that? Do you feel that living together
Mm-hmm.
brings you more issues rather than living separately as a couple?
No, I think it brings us together more because she knows where I am, and she always knows what I'm doing. And so, if we're apart, and I go home, she doesn't really know. I mean, unless she's checking on me, she doesn't really know if I went home or if I went out with my buddies. But if she's home, and I get off work and I go home, she knows I'm there. I think vice versa too. And I think it helps build trust in each other.
Living together?
Yeah, living together. I mean, you obviously get to see the worst and the best of each other because, when you wake up with, bedhead or stinky
Morning
breath,
breath.
or whatever it is, it's like you.
That's the worst to me, man. Oh. Funniest thing that's ever happened to me, Brad. It is the funniest, but the most embarrassing thing. So I hate when women or me, let me start over so I don't mess this up because I keep messing everything up. I don't like it when women burp loud on purpose, obnoxiously, all that stuff, or when they fart and then they make a joke out of it, or they think it's just not for me. I understand that usually some relationships, they don't care about that sort of stuff, and that's great. I'm happy for you guys, but to me, that's disgusting. Okay.
So if he hears you at another, like if you're at a restaurant and he hears your wife belch, he's gonna be like,
That's
that woman
nasty.
is nasty.
That is so gross to me. But you know what I'm talking. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about a. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I'm talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's disgusting to me.
And I've heard some women who can keep up with the men on that stuff too.
That's so gross, man. So I don't like that stuff, right? So
right.
if you're with me, you will not hear me or see me doing either of those two things.
Okay.
Because I don't expect you to do it, so I won't do it either.
So you're not gonna be like laying in bed with her at night and just like pass some gas.
Listen, bro.
Okay.
Listen to me, man.
Here we go.
Oh my goodness.
Here we go.
So I try my best not to ever do it. One day, my recent ex, and I were chilling at my apartment with my two kids. And my son farted. And he was kind of embarrassed about it, and I kind of roasted him about it because there's a girl there, right? Mm-hmm. And then, you know what she said, Brad? she said, it's okay, don't worry. Your dad does that in his sleep all the time. And I was so embarrassed. I was I felt like I just found out some scary news because that's like, that's how bad I feel about it. Mm-hmm. I freaked out for a second. I was like, I was the embarrassed one, not my son. My son was off the hook.
Yeah,
I was like shaking from how embarrassed I was because I'm telling you, I hate it because it's not sexy. So I don't want my woman seeing that of me, and I don't want to see that of her. I also hate sharing a restroom. Or a shower.
Oh, okay.
The shower is more like the water thing. I like being under the water at all times, so I'm just selfish with the water. I don't like showering with people.
Oh, with them, like at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I also don't like being in the bathroom while you're doing your stuff, and I don't want you to be in the bathroom while I'm doing my stuff because later I want us to do stuff to each other, and that's not okay for us to see this now. You understand what I'm saying? We're getting into it, Brad. This is relationship time. Okay. Yeah. That's probably the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me.
Okay.
I stayed quiet because I was so embarrassed.
That is funny.
Because here I am thinking I'm perfect.
Yeah.
I don't do those things.
Right.
And I'm over here waking you up. Like, what? Oh my goodness, man. Oh,
that's funny.
Crazy.
Yeah. Now I've never minded
those things.
Yeah. Like especially like sharing the bathroom. Like we might both be brushing our teeth at the same time, or
brushing teeth is nothing. I'm talking about
but I'm saying
using the toilet.
Yeah, I might be using the bathroom while she's brushing her teeth, or vice versa. Yeah, we don't care.
I've never liked it.
Yeah,
I've never been comfortable with it. I don't think I ever will.
Yeah,
but that's just because I'm also a weirdo. So like, I think that you should just keep things. Some things should be kept separate. like if I was a billionaire, I'd build like bathrooms.
Yeah, 2 bathrooms.
Like 100 yards away from each other, though, so that nothing ever gets seen or heard.
Yeah, no sounds, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, those kind of things don't bother me, but I don't think there's a problem with not wanting those things to be heard and seen. Like,
so I'm not crazy.
No.
Okay.
No, I think that if you want your woman to go into the bathroom and shut the door, and you want her to use the bathroom and do her thing and come out looking sexy, and you go in there and you do your thing, and you come out looking handsome, and then, you know, the two of you are like, hey, you know, you look good. And you're like, yeah, you look good. You don't have to think about, oh, man, I just heard you farting in there, and, you know, and whatever else. You know, so I can get that. I get that. I mean, some people might bother. Some people doesn't. I'm one that doesn't, but yeah.
Yeah, I usually get mixed responses with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just not for me, you
Right.
know? Some people think I'm like really crazy because it's extreme. Like I don't want to ever hear you, ever.
Which that is a little bit of an extreme, only
is.
because you're going to be living with this person 365 days a year.
For as long as possible.
So like
Yeah.
the next 40, 50 years, all of a sudden, it's like, how do you go without ever hearing them do that?
Yeah, I mean, the occasional slip up, I guess, but I would like to never hear you, but especially not you doing it on purpose.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because then that's just like you don't even care about our chemistry no more, or our physical.
So it would bother you,
attraction.
like if your woman pulled the covers over your head and then like
Oh
pass
my
gas.
That might be
The
that might
infamous Dutch oven.
that might be that might call for a divorce.
Ah, shoot.
No, I'm not even, because you know why? I would never do that to you.
But it's
So why would
funny.
you? I find it very disrespectful.
Yeah.
And my dad used to do that to me, and I think my mom too, probably just messing around.
Your mom used to do it to you?
No, my dad used to do it to me, or to
And then he
us.
would do it to your
Probably,
mom also.
probably
Okay.
to all of us.
Okay.
Because we're just chilling.
Right.
But and it was funny, whatever. It was joking. It was all in
Yeah.
fun, right? But I don't like it.
I think it traumatized you.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But it's just like, even if you're here,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear you do it either. I don't want to hear you burping and farting and stuff either, because that's just gross.
Right.
You know, I understand we're guys and stuff, and you know, like some things might fly a little more,
Mm-hmm.
but I also don't want to. Like if we're out eating
Mm-hmm.
and you're over here burping and stuff, that's so nasty.
I used to work at a place where my boss would, you know, they call it crop dusting. He would just like come by and just dropping gas bombs. And then sometimes you could just hear him. He would just be like, every step would be another sound.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, and that dude is walking away from the desk. And I've got to sit here. And as soon as someone walks in, a customer, I'm going to be like, they're going to think it's me. You know, but yeah, it was just always funny. Like, he just did not care. He was just like, you know, doing his thing, just passing gas and keep on walking. It was funny.
Yeah. No, I can't stand that, man.
Yeah.
Can't stand it.
The movie Witness with Harrison Ford. It's an older movie. I think it was made in the '80s, late '80s. And he's helping out this Amish family, and the boy belches at this restaurant, or maybe at just the kitchen table, and the mom goes, "Oh, healthy," you know. And so it's kind of funny because I'm thinking, like, if you hear this kid belch, you know, some parents would be like, "Hey, say excuse me,"
Yeah.
and you know, but she was like, "Ooh, healthy," because she would just meant like, "Hey, you must have had a good bite or some good food," you know, and your body's releasing the air, and to them, or to in that particular scene in that movie, it was a healthy type of thing. So I always thought that was funny.
I can't do it, man. I mean, it's also, I don't know. I can't. That's, and I know, like I said, I know it's extreme, but that's just one of my things.
Right.
You know?
So so at night, were you passing gas or were you belching?
Farting
Oh, okay.
in my sleep, I guess.
That's hilarious.
And you know why?
That's great.
Probably because I hold it in all day.
Yep.
So it just comes out at night when I have no control over it. I guess. I don't know.
I bet there were some good ones in there too.
Man,
You're probably.
I don't
It was-
even.
it was
It's
like
so nasty to me. I don't even like thinking about it. And I feel so bad because she had to endure that.
Yeah.
But apparently she found light in it. But I don't care. I still don't want to do it.
It might have been like an orchestra, like a little
Yeah.
mini orchestra,
Yeah,
like tubas
maybe.
playing, and
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
that's
man.
funny. So
You and Tanya in
Mhm.
your home, how do you guys have your home set up as far as responsibilities and roles in your home?
in our home, I help out as much as I can, but like I said, I cannot keep up with her. Like she's just a machine, and she literally comes home and she's like, "Hey, did you need something washed for tomorrow? Like, are you good on jeans? Are you good on clothes?" I'm like, "I think I'm good."
That's
She's
the sweetest thing.
Yeah, and she's just
anybody
like,
could say.
she's like, "Okay, well, I'm getting ready to do some laundry, so I just didn't know if you needed something washed." But she always makes sure that I have underwear, socks, shirts, pants, just anything and everything that I might need to go throughout the day. She makes sure that I have. She will cook if she's home, and if she's not home, listen to this. So I get my boys on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
She will write down everything I need to make a meal. If she has it located in the freezer or refrigerator in certain spots, she will open it up and take a picture of it and say, "These are the two things you need." And then she'll do that over here in the refrigerator. She lays out all the things I might need, the seasonings or the utensils,
For you
the
to
pots
cook.
for me to cook, because she knows she's not going to be home.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and then if she is going to be home, she just does it.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
I mean, yeah. This is crazy, and I've never asked her to do this. Every day when I get out of the shower,
Hot towel.
no,
Oh,
she always makes sure I have a clean towel.
not hot though.
No, not
Have you ever used a towel out of the dryer from your shower?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It feels good, doesn't it?
Oh.
But she makes sure that I have underwear and socks laying out on the bed, and I get out of the shower and I dry off and I walk in there and bam, they're right there. I would say, yeah, maybe a couple times a year, I might walk over and grab my own or
Yeah.
something.
Wow.
But yeah, most of the time though, she has it always sitting there for me. Like I said,
What do you do
always-
for her?
I wish I could tell you. I try. What I do is I always love on her. Always love on
You
her.
give her the affection.
Oh yeah, I'm always giving her hugs. I'm always giving her kisses. Like I said, if we're on the couch and we're sitting on opposite sides, she'll give me her feet, and I'll massage her feet. I think she has really cute feet, so I like to massage her feet. But yeah, I'll do that. I love if it's in the middle of the day, like on a Saturday, and no one's home, or the boys are upstairs doing their own thing. I will turn on some light music and I'll just dance with her. I just kind of hold her and kind of dance with her in the living room.
Does that actually happen, Tanya?
Dude,
Tanya, does it happen?
It does happen, and she loves it. Like she does, loves just being held, and we just dance, and But yeah, if the dishes need to be done and she's not home, I definitely do the dishes. I have the boys put them away. I have the boys load the dishwasher back up. So sweep, all that kind of stuff. I mean, we try to take care of the house. We try to keep it picked up and clean and vacuumed. So. But she does a great job. She's amazing. I mean, if she thinks that something needs to be done, she's just on it, and she doesn't even ask. So
That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good. And if you guys are both happy with that, then that's all that matters, right?
right.
That's good. I have two things that I need done.
Okay. Cook.
If these two things are done,
Yeah.
I will take care of everything and anything else
Okay.
in the house.
Okay.
Laundry,
Mm-hmm.
cooking. But when I say laundry, though, I don't want to touch a single sock. I don't want to switch a single load from
Mhm.
washer to dryer. I don't want to do nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
I don't want to put away nothing. I don't want to touch nothing. Just it's always should be done.
Mm-hmm.
Cooking, laundry. If you are my woman and you can do those two things for me,
Mm-hmm.
I got everything else. No questions asked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nothing. I
Right.
mean everything. Dishes, bathrooms, ground, outside, this and that and
Mhm.
this and that. Anything. You will not have to touch a single thing ever again. if those two things are done, if they're done correctly, of course.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But like, man, I've been so unlucky. I've never been with a woman that could cook at all.
I find that it's more frequent nowadays over the last, I'd say, 20 years.
With the younger generations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than it is back in, like when our parents were growing up.
It's sickening, man. I've been so unlucky. My cousin, his last two relationships, these women are chefs, man.
Mm-hmm.
Chefs. But, like, at all.
Yeah.
At all. Nothing. It's so crazy, man.
Yeah. And that's tough.
I've been so unlucky.
I was say, yeah, if you're going out with a girl and you meet her on, whatever dating app or a friend hooks you up or whatever it might be, and that comes up, it's like, hey, do you like to cook, or are you someone who like goes out and buys your food a lot? And they're like, yeah, I get a lot of frozen foods, or if I'm dating someone, I hope that they can do it for me. And you're like, you gotta be kidding.
It's not gonna work out.
Right.
It's not gonna work out.
You're just kind of like, okay, well, this date's gonna end, and we'll never see each other again.
I like a home cooked meal, man.
Right.
There's nothing better than a home cooked meal.
Right.
It's just, it's cheaper.
Do you ever cook? I mean, like, do you cook like hamburgers
Myself?
or steaks or?
I can cook
macaroni
very
and
few
cheese?
things,
Yeah.
and I can cook them okay.
Okay.
The few things I can cook okay.
Okay.
Enough where my kids and I won't starve to death.
Right.
But, I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, I
I
get
just
that.
need those two things.
I would say, and I think there's nothing wrong with wanting certain things out of a person. I mean, like, the common thing back in the day, and it's probably still a lot true for a lot of women, but it's like they want someone who's tall, dark, and handsome. Well, shoot, if that's what your requirements are, and you come across someone who's not tall, or they're not dark, or they're not handsome, then maybe you don't want them, and that's perfectly okay. And I think
It's okay to have preferences.
right.
That's fine.
And I think that the same thing holds true for man. If you want her to look a certain way, then that's what you should go for.
Or be able to do certain things.
Yeah, or do certain things, right? So it's if you want that, and she has no problem doing it. Like if you find someone and she's like, man, I love to cook and I love to do the laundry. Like I kill it. I will kill it. And you're just gonna be like, oh my gosh.
That's all that I need, Brad.
But
That's all I need. Cooking and laundry.
Yeah.
I will wash every single dish. I will scrub every single toilet. I will scrub every single bathroom. I don't mind because I know I'm able to do those things without a problem.
Right.
Especially if I don't have to worry about those other two things.
Right. And honestly, that's kind of cool too because women, a lot of times, obviously they have longer hair than men most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times if they shed one hair and it gets like on the toilet or it gets on the floor in the bathroom or it gets in the sink, it just looks like there's a lot more hair there. If like 2 or 3 pieces come off their head, as opposed to one of ours being shorter or one of our beard hairs or something, it's smaller, so it's not as big of a deal. But when a girl's hair falls out and she has like this long flowing hair, all of a sudden you're like, wow, So for them to know that you're going to clean the bathroom all the time, and they know that every single time they sit down that toilet seat, it's going to be clean, or every time they get into the bathtub, they can take a nice long bath, and there's not going to be floaters going everywhere from something, I mean, man, knowing that their man's going to take care of that, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it's a fair trade.
He's available. Ivan Rodriguez is available. So, listen up, ladies.
Why you got to put my whole name out there like that?
Because you don't want him just going out with some random Ivan.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't. Anything else you want to add to this topic, Brad?
I think I'm good. I mean, like I said, I think it's important to find friendship because the thing is, like you were saying earlier, it's really important because when the kids are gone, when your kids are grown up and my kids are grown up and they've moved out, you got to be able to get along with this person.
Yeah.
You have to be able to have some kind of, humor that the two of you share, whatever it might be. If you two like, going on walks together, go do that. If you guys like having long conversations about just politics, religion, whatever, baseball, basketball, whatever it might be, do that. If you like watching TV shows together, but make sure you have something in common that you like doing because one day the kids will be gone. And this person needs to be like your best friend sitting across from you. And I mean, And I say best friend, and my wife calls me her best friend. I call her my best friend.
As it should be.
Yeah, and it was interesting because I have a friend who she said she and her husband do not call each other their best friend. And I said, really? I said, they're not your best friend? And she goes, no. And she goes, but I'm going to find out. She goes, I'm going to go home, ask my husband tonight. So she went home and she asked her husband. And she goes, hey, honey, am I your best friend? He goes, are you my best friend? No, you're not my best friend. And she came back the next day, and she goes, yeah, he said I wasn't his best friend. And I was just like, okay, well, as long as you guys have a happy marriage, then that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, do your thing. And
they are best friends. They just
yeah.
You have to be best friends with the person you're going to live with the rest of your life.
You would
have
think.
to be.
Yeah, I would say you would think.
It's different than like you and Tommy over there being best buds, right?
Right.
It's a different best friend.
I mean, maybe you're not going to go out hunting with them, and if you do, that's cool. Maybe you're not going to go out and play basketball with them like you do with your buddies, but if you do, that's cool.
Yeah.
However, a best friend doesn't mean they have to be the same sex. Like, it doesn't have to be your
Exactly.
girlfriend or your buddy who's like your best friend.
Wait, I have a question for you, Brad.
What's up?
Can men and women be just friends?
Oh, you mean like if I had a friend who's a female? I do have a friend who's a female, and we're friends.
Just friends?
Yeah.
Never, nothing more.
Nothing's ever happened.
Well, hold
No.
on.
We're
We're not
really
even
good
gonna. We're not even gonna ask each other these questions because I don't want to put you on the spot like that.
But I just answered for you. Like, I mean, like, we're legitimately good friends, and my wife knows her. I introduced her to my wife, and my wife to her this past summer because we live in different cities, and so we were traveling through the city, and so I called her up. I said, "Hey, are you and your husband going to be available? We want to go hang out."
How long have you been friends?
6 years now, I think.
How'd you meet?
Working together
Where?
at Domino's.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yep. So just knew each other from a long time ago, and we just worked together. So, yep. So yeah, it worked out. I mean, we're good friends, and you know, she every once in a while she'll show me a picture of like one of her kids and say, "Hey, this is what they're doing," because they're grown up, you know, and stuff like that. But yeah, we get along real well. So I think it's possible, but I think you got to realize that you can't spend you can't make. I would say the majority of the time. I'm not going to speak for everyone, but you cannot make. If you like women as a man, you cannot go find another woman and make her your best friend and go hang out with her more than
You spend time with your wife.
your wife and stuff like that. I would say going out and hanging out every once in a while for lunch in a public place or something like that, but keep it like legit to where you can keep the trust from your partner. And if your friend is married, so she can keep the trust with her partner. You know, like the two of you are just hanging out, chilling, doing your own thing. So, but yeah, I think it's important to keep that trust going. But back to my point of, if you're a man or a woman, I think the first thing you need to do is make sure you're good. And like you said earlier, sometimes you don't know if you're good. Like, how many American Idols have you seen where someone was like, "Oh my gosh, I've been singing my whole life," and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I bet this is gonna be an awesome, tryout," and they're just the worst singer ever, and they legitimately think that they're an amazing singer, and you're like, "Oh, I feel so bad for them. Like, they really think they're good, and they're terrible." And it happens, and so sometimes, I think it's important to kind of reflect upon who we are as people and say, what have my jobs been? Have I been good at my jobs? What are my friendships like? Have I been a good friend, and have I had good friends? What's my family life like? And have I had good influences on myself all around? Like, look at your circle of friends. Like they say you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. And I think that is a good standard to hold yourself to say like, hey, who are my 5 friends? And am I like them? Am I better than them? Am I the average of them? But yeah, if you can make sure you're good, the first one. And then 2, go find someone who you know that you can get along with when you are all by yourselves and there's no one else around. Do the 2 of you have some stuff in common that you can talk about? When you're with other people, do you guys get along? And do you enjoy showing her off, or does she enjoy showing you off to their friends? And do you guys laugh together and get along? I mean, to me, those are important things. And so,
100%.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I would say. If you're going to look for a marriage, if you're going to look for a relationship, make sure you're good, and then make sure you get along with them really well around people, and solo.
And the last point I want to make about relationships is please stop making joint social media accounts. That is the ugliest thing ever.
It is strange because when I have people comment,
You don't know who's
have
who.
them, I'm like, is it him or her that's commenting on
Oh
this
my
right
goodness,
now? You know?
it's so annoying.
Yeah.
That's so ridiculous to me.
That is kind of funny.
Like, share a bank account, not a freaking social media account. What are you doing?
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's the craziest form of jealousy right there, man.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Okay, you got a dad joke for me, Brad?
Man, I've got a good dad joke. You ready
Oh,
for
by
this?
the way, guys, Johnny's no longer with us. He's not dead. He's just not doing the show with us anymore.
So we're coming up with some dad jokes, and I actually got this dad joke from my dad. So we're gonna find out how good it is. You ready
But
for this?
do you know how good it is, and is it good?
Dude, you're gonna love it. It's gonna be the funniest thing you've ever heard. So yeah, now I set the expectation. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
A zombie, a mummy, and a ghost move into a house.
A zombie, a mummy, and a ghost.
Move into a house.
Okay.
What room do they not have?
A zombie, a mummy, and a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
What room is missing in the house? Is
No,
that
what
you're-
room do they not get to have?
Oh, the living room.
Oh, see,
Oh,
man,
come on,
that was.
man.
I know. I thought I was better than that.
That's an
I thought
that is a good one if you haven't heard it before.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard it before.
See, I didn't know that.
Do you have another quick one?
Ah, man, let me see if I can find one.
How
real
fast
quick
can
here.
you Google? Go.
Go boom, boom, boom,
TikTok,
boom, boom,
TikTok,
boom.
TikTok, TikTok.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The little old lady.
The little old lady who?
I didn't know you could yodel.
Okay. All right, man. We set a timer. We set a stopwatch to let us know how long we've been going, but the screen turned off, so I have
It
no idea.
happens. It happens. Hey, guys.
I think we're about there, though.
I think so. Once again, you've joined us on episode 6 of Dear Dad with Ivan and Brad. We appreciate it. We want you to like us. We want you to comment. We want you to share. And we want you to subscribe. Let others know that we're out there. And like I said, we're two guys coming from a father and a male's point of view, giving you our